Aren't you the guy that let John Terry smash your ex?
Okay, so we're back talking about somebody who isn't Dream or Tommy in it, but somebody I've equally covered on this channel, KSI. Now, KSI, over the past couple of years or so, I'd say has been a pretty polarizing figure. Over the past few years, it very much seems like controversy has followed KSI's name, from, getting cancelled for saying a slur on a Cyberman Sunday, to Lunchly, to crypto stuff. Basically, if there's a controversy, you name it, KSI's probably been involved some way. But one thing for the most part, which has been pretty uncontroversial in terms of, an actual controversy and not just people being upset about it, is KSI's boxing career. Or at least until now, because he's in a lot of hot water right now. So KSI was meant to be fighting somebody called Wayne Bridge. Now, in the UK, they've got a pretty decent level of fame. I mean, everywhere else I really don't know, but it doesn't seem like the Americans or anyone else really know who this guy is. But, the most important part here is the guy is 44. And this is genuinely insane to me because this is the same thing KSI's been critiquing Jake Paul for ages now. Fighting nobodies who are like 50, 60 years old and then just fighting really, really famous boxers and influencers who are also very old. It just seems like a really bizarre choice for a fight from KSI. For one, logistically, it doesn't make any sense, right? Nobody wants to see this fight. I don't know a single soul on planet Earth that actually gives a shit that KSI is fighting this guy. It's the same issue Jake Paul had with fighting these old nobodies. People just stop caring. Same thing here, no one cares. But also, it's just incredibly hypocritical from KSI, right? His whole point about Jake Paul being a shit boxer and why he's better is the fact that, Jake Paul doesn't fight really any proper boxers, and when he does, they're incredibly old, and, he's just fighting older people in general. So, I mean, why is KSI then fighting an older person? He just looks incredibly hypocritical and just like an absolute clown. The other actual opponents that would be great for KSI to fight, right, which would be a step up in KSI's boxing career and would be pretty interesting bouts, have called him out. But, he's obsessed with fighting this old guy that literally no one gives a flying fuck about.
KSI.
Well, he's fighting Wayne Bridge.
Lad, fuck Wayne Bridge. He's fighting me, mate. What's he fighting Wayne Bridge for?
Right, let's just do this in order. First of all,
I mean, everyone seems confused. No one wants this fight, so I don't know why KSI was thinking of doing it. But actually, he might have self-sabotaged it. Because, him and this Wayne guy had a face-to-face off in the ring the other day for one of the Misfits events.
Aren't you the guy that let John Terry smash your ex?
Oh, you want to go there straight away, dear?
I'm pretty sure that's what you're known for.
Okay, you go there.
Vanessa! Whoa! Vanessa! Whoa!
29th, you'll find out.
She jumped on Terry's dick. It made
You'll find out.
big boy feel sick. Vanessa! Whoa! Vanessa! Whoa! You really want this?
You wanted it, mate. You can get it.
Alright. Then let's do it.
So this little thing KSI did here actually caused quite a bit of controversy. Because here, KSI is teasing this guy, right? Trying to make fun of him, his wife, or whatever, right? The usual boxing stuff, right? Trying to create this storyline, trying to create like a rivalry there, trying to get people actually interested in this fight that nobody cares about. So basically what KSI was chanting about and teasing Wayne about was apparently this Wayne guy's wife had an affair some time ago. This is all allegedly, it all seems to be shut down, right? Nothing really happened here, but it was a big story going around and, something that is of course going to affect this Wayne guy personally, right? Affect his family, affect his wife, affect all parties involved there. And KSI was chanting about it, right? Really making fun of the guy, really going in on him, right? To sell this fight, to cause a rivalry there, to, be the villain of his, like, boxing fight, or whatever he wants to do. Basically, pretty much immediately after KSI did that, he got quite a bit of backlash for bringing up some pretty personal stuff, right? About Wayne and, his private life, about his family here, and, people criticized him, and I wanted to be so real here, who gives a flying fuck? I think what some people just genuinely don't realise, right, it's not like KSI's gone up to Wayne Bridge on the street and mocked this affair that might have taken place, like, some time ago, right? It's not like he's done that at all, right? That'd be gross, would be pretty scummy to do, right? Walking up on the street and just, pointing and laughing at an affair that might have taken place, pretty bad thing to do. But this has all been done to build a boxing fight. This isn't KSI actually saying these things, right? He doesn't actually mean the things he's saying here. He doesn't actually care. He's doing this to cause a rivalry, to build a fight, to get people interested, right? And to be fair, like, I don't blame him here, right? Nobody's interested in the first place, so you've got to pull out all the stops. Now, while it is pretty entertaining, right, I can also see the case being made that, maybe he went a little bit too far, right? But I don't think he means anything malicious here. He's not actively trying to go for the guy and his family. It's just a boxing thing, right? He's just trying to create a story. But regardless, Wayne Bridge really didn't like this and ended up calling off the fight. Yeah. I'm sure a lot of you have seen what happened on Saturday night at the Misfits boxing event. Firstly, I think it's important that I explain my reason for accepting the fight. always like a challenge to myself. This felt like a good opportunity to go up against an interesting opponent on a big stage. I mean, yeah, I don't know why he's explaining himself here. It makes complete sense why he would take this fight. It doesn't make any sense why KSI would take this fight, right? Fighting a 44-year-old man who honestly isn't as relevant as KSI, nowhere near. It doesn't make any sense. Nobody's going to be interested in the fight. But for this Wayne guy, of course he wants to take this fight. This is great for him, pretty interesting for him to do. So yeah, go for it, mate. I've always loved boxing as part of my everyday training routine. I was fully prepared to train hard and have some fun. Of course, I expected to face some criticism, but I feel like what was said on Saturday crossed the line. Now, regardless if I do think it's all for boxing, right, it's all for this boxing rivalry, to create a story, right, to get people interested in the fight, I do get why he might feel like KSI crossed the line here, right? He's attacking something that happened to him and his family. Of course, that's going to be a pretty sore spot. And I hope he did take into consideration here before posting this that, you know, KSI was probably doing it for the rivalry, probably didn't mean a lot of the things that he was saying there, right? And that, you know, KSI wasn't actually trying to personally attack him, and if he genuinely felt like KSI went too far, maybe speaking to KSI behind the scenes, right, and going, hey man, can you not make these jokes anymore, right? You can say anything else, right, but this is my family, personal life, and I don't appreciate it, right? And move forward, and you can continue with the fight if this is genuinely something that was really bothering him. Of course, I have no idea if he did that. I hope he did, right? I hope he tried something, you know, sorting out behind the scenes before he pulled out. These are deeply personal comments that affect mine and other families involved in the situation. I'm a family man first, and my priority is protecting them. My opponent is someone that many children look up to around the world, including my kids. I hope one day he will look back on this differently. I personally don't want to be involved in these exchanges. Now, this is something I'm completely sympathetic towards, right? I can completely understand why he would want to protect his kids here, right? It's a pretty sensitive situation, especially if there's a huge chance that your kid is probably going to find out about this, right? Your kids might probably hear from KSI directly about the affair that might or may not have happened, right? So, you know. Of course, I genuinely do believe that this was all for a boxing rivalry, right? To hype up the fight, and KSI wasn't just genuinely shitting on his family for no reason. You know, he probably should have thought about, you know, his kids might be watching this, his kids might hear from this, you know, it's a pretty sensitive situation. I want to no longer be fighting on 29th of March. I'm still looking out for my next big challenge and have some exciting things coming up in 2025. Thanks for all the love, the support has been overwhelming. I want my friends and family to know this, how special they are. Deep down, I know that this is the right thing to do. I do completely get why he's pulled out here, regardless. If KSI was just doing this for a rivalry, it's clear that, you know, this guy is personally affected, right? And mainly from the standpoint of his kids, and he wants to protect his children, which, you know, I don't think anyone can fault him for. Especially seeing as his whole big, you know, cheating scandal was absolutely huge in the world of football. Again, I'm not really a big football enjoyer, right? But, you know, it seems like it was a pretty big thing. And it does very much seem like the common consensus online, right, is that KSI was in the wrong for taking it this far, and that, you know, regardless if it was for rivalry, right, you know, he should have been maybe a little bit more considerate with what he was saying, and that, you know, people can completely get why this Wayne guy wanted to pull out, because, you know, family and his kids come first, which is a completely respectable reason why, and, you know, lots of people are happy that he's not fighting Wayne, right, and that he can fight an actual boxer or an actual influencer, right, a fight that people genuinely care about.
Imagine being the guy who calls out Jake Paul for fighting retired fighters, then hype up and announce fighting a retired 44-year-old footballer, and he doesn't even want to fight you anymore, and he pulls out. So now he just looks like a massive clown. Oh man.
Yeah, I completely agree with Cavill's here, right? I don't think it's this big situation. I feel like people are blowing it a little bit out of proportion. Not Wayne himself, of course. You know, he's going to feel very personally about this. This is a personal situation that affects him and his family. But everybody else, right? I feel like people are taking it to extreme levels here, right? Not really taking into account that this is all for boxing, right? And that KSI isn't actually just going to say this to the guy's face for, you know, no reason. But regardless of all of that, KSI looks incredibly hypocritical for trying to fight a 44-year-old retired footballer for one, right? And he just looks like a right mug. So, you know, KSI really hasn't won in this situation regardless. So everybody watching, what's your thoughts on this situation? Do you think KSI will respond? Please feel free to comment down below. And once you're down there, you might as well smash the subscribe button and hit that notification bell for more updates about KSI and other content creators and drama. But I've been your host Samuel, and I will catch you in the next YouTube video.